Hallo, ich heiße Violet und ich lerne am German Institute. And today I want to talk about productivity, um, specifically the planning stage. Planning your life to be productive. Productivity is something I had to really think about in my first month of German school. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it here. It's it has changed, it has adapted to the current environment, which is just like general knowledge. Something that might make you productive in like one area might not make you productive in another area based on like the demands of the area. So yeah, I'm going to share some tips with you that I found helpful in productivity, the planning stage. So, what are the various ways to plan? The most common ones is like maybe a timetable ish or a to do list. Timetable is maybe when you want to make something more long term, and to do lists something short term. Yeah, that's basically it. That's only like an introduction. A tip on how to um, maximize your timetable or to do list is allocate specific time for things, like a task to have a specific time. Don't just say on Tuesday you're going to do this, or on Wednesday you're going to do this, without really specifying what time that you're going to do it. So allocating specific time is important, and also don't overcommit. This will come naturally as you as you continue planning and planning and planning. The whole overcommit, like you know yourself, you know what you can handle in a specific amount of time. So yeah, it will just come naturally actually to not overcommit. So getting started, how do you get started in like the productivity, the planning stage? Um, the first thing I'll talk about is maybe apps. There's Google Calendar. I've also maybe touched on this in that my first month in German school video. But to be honest, I don't even really use that app that much. I mostly use the built-in notepad on my phone to just kind of plan almost everything in my life. Okay, but if Google Calendar works for you, it works for you. I'm also trying to use Google Calendar more because it has like a lot of options and it's very specific to planning days. So yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Also put most important tasks first to avoid like disappointments. Mm, like, but also this depends on what type of person you are. Like if you're a morning person, if you're a night person, most people are morning people. Okay, they like switch off after lunch. They can't function after lunch. So if you're that kind of person, put your important tasks in the very first thing in the morning. You do them. But some people are night owls, so maybe they would feel nice if they put the most important tasks at the end of the day. So it really just depends on also knowing who you are. Actually, that's very important because you can go on YouTube and Google and look for productivity tips. Maybe you're procrastinating and you just want to look on how you want to be productive. and people can tell you, do this, do this, do this. But if it doesn't align with you, if it doesn't align with your biology and your personality, it's not going to work, and you're not going to do the thing that you want to do, and you're going to feel just miserable. So it really just depends on what type of person you are. Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? It depends on knowing who you are and optimizing who you are. Don't try to change. Don't try to change who you are for productivity and stuff. It's not going to work. It's your conscious mind might tell you it will work, but your subconscious will obviously show you that it's not going to work. Like, this is not you. Okay, you are a night owl. It's not going to work doing this thing in the morning. So even if you try to force it, will never work. So you just have to align the productivity things that you want to do with your biology, with who you actually are. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. And what's worse, accepting yourself or never even doing what you wanted to do in the first place ever. Yeah, choose. Also, this is mostly for students. Pomodoro breaks are really important. Um, Otherwise you're going to just burn out. But also, it's not only for students. If you're working on anything, you need breaks. It doesn't have to be necessarily Pomodoro breaks. If you don't know what Pomodoro breaks is, actually, let me explain. You just do like a task for around 25 minutes, and then you like take a break for 5 minutes. Then you keep doing that for like 4 times, and then you take like a huge break, like a 30 minutes break, and then you repeat the entire process again from beginning to end. And that's really helpful. You need breaks. Okay, I know some of you might feel like, I don't need breaks, but that's okay. That just means that you are still like a beginner in this productivity journey. But obviously, when you experience stuff, you're going to realize that you need breaks in productivity. So, and don't be ashamed. Everyone does it. Everyone productive has breaks. I also advise you to have something, to have like a routine alongside those to-do lists and timetable. Okay, timetable is can be used for routines, but not all. It depends on who you are. But when I say advise you to have routines, I just mean something you do every day for a really long, for even maybe forever. Because it trains you in discipline. It trains you in knowing to appreciate the journey and not even really the destination. Like, in things maybe even like, mostly this applies to fitness and stuff like that. You need to have like something you do every day, something that you must do every day. Because to-do lists, it's not really something you have to do every day. So it changes depending on the day, but routines doesn't change, and that will really help you in training for productivity and being a disciplined person. Also, plan ahead. Like, don't plan during the day that you're supposed to do the things that you want to do, it's important to have a plan. There's this saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. So you just have to plan ahead. And also, don't be afraid to rearrange. I've talked about, even earlier in this video, about the video of my first month of German school and how I had to change and adapt. So you are going to change some things later on, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. In changing to fit maybe the current day, the current vibe, changing just um, the plan. There's no shame in that at all. So yeah, don't be afraid to rearrange anything. And yeah, those are like my tips of productivity, specifically the planning stage. The next video I'm going to share will be productivity just in general. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll enjoy that video too. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.